Good day. This is an update on the price of gold today. Today is March 7, 2024. The time here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia is 8 o'clock, 8:53 in the evening. It's almost 9 o'clock. So I know you are wandering around searching for supply on precious mineral, gold and diamond. I am updating the price of gold today. The price of gold is high, skyrocket at the moment. Last 2 days ago, the price of gold was 65, 64, 67. Today is 69, 372.58. So the price of gold is not fixed. Mhm. So today the price of gold per ounce is 2,157.65. 1 hour ago, the per ounce was 2,157.59. Then goes up to 2,157.65 per ounce. In dollar term is 69,372.58. So I know that most of you international buyer are really screaming to find the right supplier. There's so many offer. We are now on modern technology. You can search through social media. You can search on YouTube. YouTube is the best site, and also on Facebook, the best site. So I'm on platform on YouTube and on Facebook. I explain thoroughly, step by step, what necessary requirement you are going to comply and what requirement the seller will comply to you when you buy this precious mineral. Now I handle Conakry, Guinea, Mali, and Sierra Leone only. Why I only emphasize? Because I've been to Africa and I know my seller. I brought the buyer and the buyer transaction successful. Now, you might think that I am an agency. I'm not. I am your business facilitator. At the same time, I'm the gatekeeper of the seller. For short, I'm the international marketing consultant and mandate of the seller. They hired me to promote their production. So I am not an agency. Don't come to me to ask you to teach you about this business. Why should I teach you guys? Just a few minutes ago, I just told this young man that he wanted to be involved in gold business. He wanted to learn. I said, no, I'm not here to teach people. I am here to sell. Now, if you are brokering, read the full corporate offer. Don't come to Wilhelmina unless you digest, unless you comprehend. And I'm the only person who put everything, I lay out, I expand everything in order for the buyer to understand. Mr. Buyer, you are buying $1,000,000 here. You're not buying potato here. So I want you to learn to digest it when you search on YouTube and when you bump into my video. I have several video. Every time the price goes up, I always upload and update the price. Now, you're gonna say, well, Amina, I saw you on YouTube channel and please teach me. No, I'm not teaching you. Read it because everything is on social media. Question and answer is already in front of you. Now, Mr. Buyer, this is for you. I know you've been searching for gold for many months. I know you've been failed to deal with other offer. Gold is not cheap, Mr. Buyer. This is premium. You are buying money to make money. So therefore, you make money, you need to have a capital. And you need to have a standby capital. This is not a standard letter of credit. This is not SBLC. This is not letter of credit, which is LC. This is not CIF, cost insurance and freight only. This is not. This is F.O.B. You are going to send a letter of interest called LOI, stating, Dear Wilhelmina, I saw your video and I listened from the beginning to the end, but I didn't go to your procedure. You click below. Don't rush. I want you to take time, Mr. Buyer. Don't rush. Take time. Read paragraph by paragraph. Subscribe and click below. It says show more. Click it and read it. Why you want to buy gold? What carat are you looking for? What purity are you looking for? What mode of payment are you looking for? Where the gold to be delivered? Where you coming from? This is what you're gonna send a letter of interest. Attention to Wilhelmina, because I am going to validate you being a buyer. Before you will receive my seller's vital information, you need to send me first your letter of interest, meaning to say you're applying to buy. You're applying to buy this precious mineral in order to function your business. So don't come to Wilhelmina monetizing that you are a buyer in the middle of our conversation. You're gonna see you have the buyer. So therefore you are deceiving yourself. Talk to Wilhelmina. So Wilhelmina, I am working for the buyer. My buyer has a big appetite. We can feed it. You have big appetite? We have the gold. How are you able to pay? Mm-hmm. Because this is F.O.B. This is bank to bank. Now, Mr. Buyer, I'm going to summarize. Mhm. After you watch this video, you click below first. Mhm. Read first the full corporate offer. Okay? Now, if you're lazy to go through, I will summarize. The price of gold is not fixed. Our selling price less 8%. Whatever the price of the world market, always based on 8%, tax included. Mhm. Now, if you are dealing with so many chain of middlemen, then the buyer would not have any profit. Mr. Buyer, if you're dealing with so many middlemen, you have to pay them because we don't pay double commission. No more. The seller hired Wilhelmina to market it. Instead, we give the buyer a very good flexible price. Instead of 8%, if you convince Wilhelmina, yes, I might consider to give you 10 to 11%. But don't bank on it because you have not convinced Wilhelmina. You haven't. I am going to interrogate you by live video conference. If you are from Dubai, you open your bottom account. Let's talk about business. If you are from America or whatever, you always open your camera for interview. You are just applying for a job. You are applying to buy. So therefore, you need to open your camera in order for me to believe that you are a buyer. Now, going back to the procedure. The procedure is already in front of you. You click below. Don't ask me, well, Amina, send me the procedure. I'm not going to send you the procedure anymore because the procedure is in front of you. Read it. The price is there. The taxes is there. What necessary requirements you're going to get and what necessary export documentation the seller will provide you after you pay the gold. The gold will not come to you. The gold will not come to any country without export documentation in the name of the buyer because your payment will reflect into cash inflow. Mhm. Now you're going to say, oh, I want to buy gold brings to brings. I think you don't understand. Brings is just like a logistic. just like DHL. That is business. Brinks would not accept any precious metal unless there is an export documentation coming from the seller that the buyer did pay the gold, and the seller will give the buyer as a report, certificate of clearance, attestation, custom clearance, ownership, and certificate of insurance. So there is a process for you, Mr. Buyer, to get this precious mineral. Now I expanded. It is here everything. Question and answer is on this video. Every video I explain it thoroughly. I lay out everything so that when you come to Wilhelmina, you are prepared to answer my interrogation question. I'm just like a policeman to interrogate you. But I'm not a policeman. I am here for you, Mr. Buyer, to assist you in order to get the supply for your business. There's so many problems going on in Africa. I'm going to enumerate. There's one American. He flew to Ghana. He lost $500,000. And I turned him down last week. Another buyer, Indian buyer, he flew to Conakry. He's begging me to bring gold to Central Bank. Now, Mr. Buyer, if you're watching me, I'm not going to mention your name. The gold will only brought to Central Bank when you make a down payment, a deposit. Mhm. So when the gold will brought to the central bank, the gold stays at the central bank. You need to come to the office, especially if you come in Conakry, Guinea. The gold will be brought to central bank for export. When you pay to my head office, let's talk about Conakry, Guinea. Eh? When you transfer the payment bank to bank, it would take 3 working days. You're gonna stay in Africa, whether Mali, Sierra Leone, or Conakry, 8 working days, because your payment would be clear 3 working days because of the time difference. When the payment would be clear, that is the time the seller will prepare export documentation. You're gonna wait another 3 working days, in total of 6 days. But give allowance because sometimes there's a holiday, sometimes delayed. So give an allowance at least 7 to 8 working days. Mhm. So when the gold prepared all the export documentation, the armor car will carry the gold from the central bank to the airport, ship it to your destination. Now, there's so many logistic in Africa. MS Logistic, they have branch in Conakry, they have branch in Mali and Sierra Leone. The headquarters is in Dubai, but I have nothing to do with MS Logistic. I just found it and I view their website. It is your responsibility to search as well, to double check. My seller has an in-house shipping logistic, but you are free to search it. Logistic is the best. I MS Logistic. If you are going to buy gold in Mali, there's a lot of shipping agent. So my seller also dealing with DMG, DNGM, a government refinery. DNGM are partner now with KMR. KMR is the big refinery. The refinery is 500 meters away from international airport. I've been to Mali, so I know. So in Sierra Leone, the gold has to be ASI at GGO. So I think I explained it thoroughly. So Mr. Buyer, you are using Wilhelmina's services. I am not here to travel with you for free. You are in business. You are going to make money. So you put money into your mouth, then you can make money to get the gold. Meaning to say, Wilhelmina will charge you to travel with you in order to facilitate in order to assist you on the ground. Okay, my charge just to cover my transport, hotel, airline ticket, expenses for 8 days. When you go to your lawyer, you're gonna be charged, right? Me, I'm giving you already free information worth $1 million. But when I travel with you, I do charge $20,000 to cover my travel cost. If you cannot afford, meaning to say, you are not really serious buyer. A real buyer willing to pay. I've been to Africa last year. Buyer are willing to pay because he's hungry this precious mineral. You have a high appetite, but your appetite would not be consummate when you don't have the money. Yeah, you have a big appetite in your dream, but you need to put money into the seller's bank account. You have to pay the gold. Now you're gonna say, what is the minimum quantity? It depends on how much you can afford. Well, I mean, now, what is the tax? That's a very good question. In Conakry, 6.5% tax. In Sierra Leone, 6.5 tax. In Mali, 7%. However, you are lucky to meet Wilhelmina because I requested my head office, let's give the buyer tax included. Now, in every bar, the tax is 4,500 in every bar. So you don't need to pay taxes. Our selling price less 8%, tax included. However, because you are dealing with Wilhelmina, I'm charging you $20,000 to fly with you, to stay with you until the gold leave the country of origin. Now, you're gonna say Wilhelmina too expensive. It is. You're buying expensive item. Going back to the price. Today, the price of gold 2,157.65 per ounce. In dollar terms, 69,372.58. Less 8% equals 63,300. So I will only give you good price when you convince Wilhelmina. You send me your business registration, a copy, importation license, your passport copy, and the proof of fund, your bank statement. Don't be scared because no one will steal your money. That bank statement of yours will signify that you are serious. Your bank statement would not be float around, wouldn't. Only ask to view your bank statement. You remove the bank account. We don't worry. Just show that you have $1 million, the value of your order. Then we will believe you. Then we will consider to proceed. We will send you a letter of confirmation based on your order, let's say 100 kilos or 50 kilos. It depends on what quantity. It depends how hungry you are. Mhm. Then you will receive the company profile. You will receive the mining license of the seller, export license of the seller, etc., etc. Now, I'm not going to release my seller's vital information because in the past, our information was been floating around from broker to broker. I call them broker joker. Today, we don't deal joker broker. We deal directly to the buyer. Mr. Buyer, you deal with us. Instead of 8%, we might give you 10 to 11% because of Wilhelmina. So because I'm charging you $20,000 to cover my travel cost to be with you, you gain more because you save taxes already. You save discount. Instead of 8%, I'm going to renegotiate the discount in order to get you more profit. Okay? So I might consider to give 12 or 13%, but don't bank on it because you have not convinced me. Our selling price less 8%. So don't bank on it. Don't be excited because you have not convinced Wilhelmina. You haven't. Now, when you send me a letter of interest called LOI, I don't want LOI monetized. I want to see the LOI, the company name of the buyer, address, email, telephone number. Why? Because I'm going to validate. And when I receive that, I'm going to call the buyer that I received your letter of interest. You are intending to purchase gold from us. Then I would allocate which seller I'm going to place you, either in Sierra Leone, either on Mali, or Conakry. If you are from Dubai, Dubai and Conakry, Emirates fly twice a week, Thursday and Saturday. So you are only one stop if you are from Dubai. But if you are from other country like Italy, Europe, you want to fly to Mali, that is fine. I'm gonna be with you. Mali is progressive. Mali is the third largest gold producer in West Africa. Conakry is a fourth gold producer, and Sierra Leone. So if you want Mali, we have tons of gold. Tons of gold, but how are you able to pay? My encouragement to you guys is start a trial, maybe 100, in order to establish a business relationship. You need to travel, you need to come to the office to establish business relationship, to meet the CEO, because you are going to buy long term. You only travel once because you have to build your business trust. Because if you don't travel and you're scared, meaning to say you don't have trust and we don't trust you. I've been to Dubai many times. I interviewed lots of time waster, small buyer, fake buyers, asking CIF. It wouldn't work. Don't you know what is the meaning of CIF? Cost, insurance, and freight only. Meaning to say you don't have the money. You don't. You are going to leverage. Gold business is not for leveraging business. My seller has an overhead. He has to pay his worker. Right. Why are you going to ask pay taxes? What for? You have not seen the gold. You have not paid the gold. Yes, there is a tax on every bar. You have to pay the gold. The government sales tax. But when you buy with us, Wilhelmina will ask the seller to package it. So you save the 6.5% of government sales tax. Whatever the total sale value, let's say the selling price today, we're selling $63,000, eh? On 63,000 times 100, okay? Okay, just a moment. $63,000, 63,000 times 100 kilos. That is 6,300,000. If I'll put you to Mali, tax 7%. The tax is $441,000. Okay, 7%. Okay, if I'll put you in Sierra Leone and in Conakry, 63,000 times 100 kilos, that is 6,300,000 times 6.5%. The tax is 409,500. So you save money. Okay, you save money. So where you gonna find seller is giving you tax incentive? You wouldn't. And then you can only afford to pay taxes. Now you have to pay the gold. Our selling price, tax included. However, we are flexible. If you convince Wilhelmina, I will renegotiate to my head office. You never know, my head office will consider 50% down payment. And you pay the 50% when the gold arrive. However, we need to have a guarantee, your bank guarantee that you will not deceive us, right? So there is certain agreement. We need to have a contract. When you send a letter of interest, we will send you a draft contract. Before I'm going to send you the draft contract, I have to gather first your vital information. Why? Because we don't want our vital information to roam around from chain of joker broker. We don't. The contract must be sent directly to the buyer, not the chain of joker broker, because they're gonna cut and paste and monetizing and then solicit buyer. We don't do that. The information of the seller sent directly to the buyer. The informations of the buyer directly to us is intact, is a privacy. So I hope this buyer that are watching on this video will understand. Now I'm gonna summarize. Mr. Buyer, you've been watching my video or you've been watching my several video. The price of gold today is 69,372.58. Now before I'm going to close, just a moment, I'm gonna have a look what is the price of gold because the price of gold changes every half an hour. Just a moment. Okay. The price of gold is down 2,154.67 per ounce. A while ago, 2,157.65 per ounce. Now today, the price of gold on 2,154.67 per ounce is 69,274.20. A few minutes ago was 69,372.58. So, the price of gold fluctuate. Buy now because there is a prediction that the gold will turn to 3,500 middle of this year. On 3,500 per ounce times 32.15, this could be the price. This could be. I don't know how much you can afford. Now, I watch on Kitco. I think next month the gold will be 2,500. Okay, 2,500 per ounce times 32.15 could be 80,375. Could be. So I'm just advising you that secure now and keep watching the movement of gold because I'm telling you, if you're a small buyer, you wouldn't be able to afford. If you're just asking CIF, you wouldn't able to get it because this gold business is cash business. Gold is king. Gold is money you're buying. Why are we gonna give you the money without any payment? Gold is money, don't you know that? Gold has many uses. You can make into jewelry. You can make into foolscap. You can make into spare parts of mobile phone. You can make into industrial. There are so many uses this gold in Africa. Africa is the main source of gold. 98% of gold produced in different part of Africa. 50% of diamond produced in different part of Africa. Tanzania, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Congo, Mali, Conakry, Sierra Leone, and so forth. Africa has 54 countries. So I only handle Conakry, Mali, and Sierra Leone. That's all. Mr. Buyer, before I close, deal with us. Guaranteed you will get the gold. Guaranteed. Only if I'll be with you. Okay? If you cannot afford to pay my my $20,000, you can travel and I will monitor your movement. But if there is an issue, don't come back to Wilhelmina because I'm too far. You're not paying my extra service, so it is your responsibility. But I'm going to arrange, I'm going to monitor you. But if there is an issue, I wouldn't be able to assist you. It's better spend money to make money, then you're gonna be safe and you're gonna be happy. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening, and I shall wait for you on live video conference. My address and my phone number is on this video.